Blood to blood.
Blood
Earth
to blood.
to earth.
Earth to
I've got to
earth.
say, I think we're onto something interesting here.
Blood to blood.
Well, I think I should focus on getting this demon out of my head. And of course, I think you should help me. And if we pick up a few new source tricks along the way, so be it.
Blood to blood. Earth to earth.
Oh, hey. What, this old gaggle of weirdos? Oh, she's all right. A lot of bark, but I think she really cares about what we're doing. Better that than a sweetheart who'd sooner watch you walk off a cliff than shout, "Look out!" He's got the thing, you know? Some people see the world as it presents itself. Other people see it as it really is. Jayhan's one of those. My kind of salty old crank. She certainly seems to want to help us. You don't get many of those in life. I've learned to appreciate them where I find them. I don't know about home, but I do sort of miss the gang I travel with now and then. Crawler, Madcap, Papa Joris for sure. Musicians mostly. We all had our own stories, our own troubles, but when we were together and the music was with us, it was like none of that mattered at all. When you have people like that around you, you know, a family, even rain feels like sunshine.
Wood to wood. Blood to blood. Blood to blood.
It's a two-parter. First, I'll run a little favor for him, taking out an enemy of his called the Advocate, and he'll help me grow my capacity for Source. All the better to fight the demon with, according to him. After that's done, he'll be able to exorcise the demon. It's almost too simple to be true. I guess we'll see what kind of fellow this Advocate turns out to be.
Earth to earth.
Yes.
Wood to wood. Earth to earth. Wood to blood.
She smirks quite joylessly.
You heard the way he spoke to me, didn't you? I don't think I'll lose any sleep over his violent demise. Roost. He was wickedness come to life. In his mind, we were nothing but things that squeal delightfully when tortured and ravished.
She looks at you intently, with searching, questioning eyes.
Does such a creature deserve anything less than death?
Wood to wood. Birth to birth. Blood to blood. Earth to earth. Wood to wood. Birth to birth. Blood to blood. Earth to earth. Wood to wood. Birth.
Indeed.
Blood to blood.
The names on my left arm, several I killed with pleasure. You saw what I did with Stingtail. You saw it made me feel good. You read the ecstasy in my eyes when I made Roost scream. I ask again, does a creature like me deserve anything less than death?
Blood to blood. Earth to earth. Wood to wood. Birth to birth. Blood to blood. Earth to earth. Wood to wood. Birth to birth. Blood to blood. Earth to earth. Wood to wood.
I know you didn't. You only inadvertently did. Don't worry, I don't hold it against you. Besides, you weren't wrong.
She holds up her needle and eyes it with the same searching, questioning look she gave you.
Beyond the blood hides nothing but a desire to be happy. I can only hope that is not too terrible a crime. Ah, yes. I am the Prime Scion. A revelation that came quite out of the blue, which is somewhat ironic, considering I'm supposed to be my people's foremost memory keeper. Quite slipped my mind, though. A slave scar will do that to a girl.
Wood to wood. Birth to birth. Blood to blood. Earth to earth. Wood to wood. Birth to birth. Blood to blood. Earth to
Though she briefly touches the names on her arm, her face settles into a blank and inscrutable expression.
I've long moved beyond mourning my victims. All I feel now is relief. To finally know why I was forced to kill them. To know who I truly am.
She looks down, an uncharacteristic cast of melancholy passing over her face.
Gods, I was so young. Imagine it, to sit enthroned under a vast forest canopy, to look down upon a crowd of thousands, their bodies aglow with countless rays of golden light falling through the leaves. You hear their voices as one, One mind, one thought, and it's your name they incant, as if the word itself were magic. Sabeel. They said it like I was the cornerstone of their existence. Isn't that silly? I didn't even know myself. Why do people perform rituals? To feel part of something. But I wasn't part of it. Mine was the loneliest role. I was the object of their worship.
She absent-mindedly fingers her needle, hesitates.
I used to love poetry. I used to love wandering the forests for days on end. I'd swim in the rivers and forget to dress after. It was fine. I was alone. I'd bask in the sun, sleep nestled among bear cubs. Nothing out there would harm me. But always, they would find me, the scions. Always the mother tree would call me back. For one day, I'd be free no longer. One day, my legs would be roots. To wander would be but one lone memory among millions. They did, but they didn't outweigh the dread of destiny. Nevertheless, I must admit that even to sit on that throne amid that eerie crowd destined to become leaf and bark was not so dreadful a prospect as what came next. When I decided to run away from the mother tree with only the moon for my guide, it was a terrible journey. Soft-leafed branches became vicious like whips. Moss-bedecked rocks became sharp like the stone axes of old. I grew weary. I was bleeding, in pain, and how I gasped when for the first time an animal eyed me with malice and growled. That is when I heard them, the whispers and the taunts, the low howls of men, the snare cut so deep, the blindfold, it made me panic, the dark.
Somewhat to your surprise, Sabeel doesn't recoil, but allows you to hug her.
Thank you. That very first moment of darkness. I've never been so scared ever since. Then there was the stench of those men, the burn of the ropes, the jeers and the kicks, until the dark went silent. Even those barbarians didn't dare speak in the presence of the master. But I'll not speak of him and his methods. Not now, anyway. If ever. Ha! A tale of cloaks and daggers and daredevilry. You up for it? Wonderful.
She bows with thespian flair.
Imagine a black room. It's been your room for years. You know it by touch more than sight, for it's always dark. And when I say always dark, I mean always dark. You're either in the room or in the box, for it's in the box that you travel. You're only let out at night, because you only hunt in the night, with the master's voice in your ears urging you on. And after it's done, you lie down in the box once more, with wet hands and mad red thoughts. Sometimes it's best to let sleeping questions lie. The thing is, the box didn't break me, though I confess it taught me to hate. One night, I killed a scholar. With my needle through his fragile old skull, he fell headfirst upon his writing desk, blood mingling with spilt ink. It's when I saw the ink that timid thoughts of rebellion first bloomed. Back in my dark room, I dipped my needle that killed the scholar in his own ink and engraved his name in my skin. I'd remember him. I'd honor him with vengeance. His name was the first, but many more followed. Of course.
She bares her left arm and shows you the name. You softly run your finger across it.
Mindarin. He was Turashar, a keeper of stories. I'm sure he was loved by many. People like him, the beloved dead, They kept me going. Then, one day, it happened. A gush of wind, a sliver of light. Light! I hardly knew it for what it was. A simple oversight that comes with habit. A door, left slightly ajar. That was all I needed to feel a rush of blood, a thirst for liberation like never before. I tore at the shackles that kept me chained to the floor, iron thick as a smith's wrists. Of course they wouldn't budge, they never did before. But now that I saw the light, something welled up inside me, a raw and undeniable burst of power. The shackles broke, and next thing I knew, I was free. I stood alone outside the ruins of a fortress, snow-capped peaks all around me. But the sun, oh, the sun. I had risen as if from the grave, and she kissed me back to life. Ain't over yet, honey.
Blood to blood, earth to earth, wood to wood, birth to wood, blood to blood, earth to earth.
I was given my needle by the master. Guess I'm just sentimental like that. Fine, if it means that much to you.
She draws her needle and holds it up between thumb and index finger.
Go on. Ever so gently touch the tip.
Barely have you touched the needle's pinpoint surface when a thick droplet of blood wells up from your fingertip.
Sharp little minx, isn't she? Sabine, this needle was forged in an altogether different world. It wasn't wrought upon a crude anvil, hammered into shape with rough blows. No, it was cast with demon precision. It is absolutely priceless, and it's yours. The master's own words. And he was right. As an instrument of assassination, it's absolutely priceless. But one day soon, he'll find out just how much he overspent on his gifts for little old me. Just why this needle is a girl's best friend. One might say I'm a bit of a sucker for poetic justice. We have to find the masters of the source, don't we? Seems like all my life is about masters.
Earth to earth, wood to wood, birth to birth, blood to blood, earth to earth, wood to wood.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
bet you're the musical sort. You've thought about taking up the lute. I got a few ready to go, all freshly strung. Well, that's one kind of melody. I'll give you that. Everyone's got tune in 'em. You just gotta look. My brother Laszlo couldn't carry a tune in a bucket when he were a wee thing. Now, he's got the voice of an angel. Magisters came, stole him away. I keep going though, hoping to get to Ark sooner than later. Lucian's Day crowds will be wanting some musical trifles. Useful? Ah, you mean deadly. Used to make bows and fletch arrows, but left that hobby behind. Oh, I'd say cut me to the bone, but the truth is more like a bludgeon, ain't it? Maybe I could do my part to help your efforts. Come back later then. I need a bit of time to carve something useful.
There's paladins up ahead. Men of my vintage. I wonder if I served with any of them back in the war.
If you please. Who goes there? Ha! If you're looking for adventure, east's the way to go. It's a void-woken hellhole over there. Sorcerer at work. Powerful one. Of course, you could wait for the Magisters to sort them out. You'll be waiting. I dare say you have, adventurer. But I suspect you've seen nothing like what lies beyond, except maybe in your nightmares. Every time the Voidwoken come, they're bigger and there's more of them. Still, you want to go east, you go east. We won't stop you.
Heading east? If I were you, I wouldn't. You look tough, but you ain't tough enough. East'll be your funeral. The rolling pastures of Paradise Downs ain't paradisical no more.
You've hit a nerve. He looks away.
Ain't none of your business why I'm still here.
He can't look you in the eye.
I left my girl out there, all right? Sally and me got split up, and I said we'd meet up here. And I ain't going back out there looking for her. You can judge me all you want. I ain't ashamed.
He nods, but the shame pricks him. Yet he still can't look you in the eye.
You ain't seen it out there. You'll find your own limits quick enough.
He turns away.
By Lucian's sword, we meet again. Would that circumstances were better here than in Fort Joy. But they're not. Voidwoken lie in wait beyond the bridge.
I heard you might be coming through this way. Good on you for the help you gave Loar. Good on you indeed.
Where, as I live and scarcely breathe, if it isn't Ifan Ben Mesd? Thought you died in the death fog. Thought you died a hero. But I suppose it's better to live as one. We really gave those Black Ring what for, eh? Wiped them all out in the blink of an eye. Damn proud to have served with you, Ben Mesd. Damned proud. That's the way of the world. No point crying over it. We're soldiers, damn it. So long as our own are fed and clothed and safe from the horrors of the void, that's all we can do. Speaking of fed and clothed, you're looking a little ragged yourself. I've some work I could send your way, if you're interested.
He taps a finger on the map on the table.
Here, in the Black Pits, are White Magisters. Their operation is shrouded in mystery, and this pricks our ears. We are gravely concerned. We believe the White Magisters may have strayed into the darkness. We suspect that Dallas herself and her master Vriedemann are the inspiration for these dark endeavors. Look under the white veil of secrecy and report back. How much do you want? I have fewer paladins to pay, so I have ready gold. But there are limits. You think very highly of yourself indeed. We have a deal.
He offers you an item. A whistle-like device sits nestled in your hand.
When you're ready, send a war owl. Be careful out there. It's a dangerous place these days. And I'd like to think I'll hear from you again. And, adventurer...
He looks you in the eye.
I know it goes without saying, Ben Mesd, but don't get caught.
I'll hold my tears when weeping comes. Who shall avenge you, darling one?
They beat all those Voidwoken. I'm impressed.
Four deer stand in formation near a crumbling altar. Three stags, fawn-coloured and hearty, gaze cloudy-eyed at a great black skeleton glowing an eerie green.
Now.
Now. Now.
We rise. We rise.
We rise.
And we destroy. And we destroy.
And we destroy.
The four deer suddenly fall silent and stand stock still. The void-woken deer turns its head to you, great antlers glowing in the dappled shade.
Eat its eyes.
Prepare yourself.
I'll yield to none!
Lucky find.
The ancient altar before which the deer crowded sits stark in the dappled forest light. Something about it draws you in. It seems to emit a faint, pleasing heat. The stones appear to be just that. Apart from a few faded red stains across the topmost slab, nothing unusual betrays itself. The air stirs, as though someone had appeared and taken a seat upon the altar. A voice rises around you, its source unclear. Fractured whispers surround you. Hurry.
Blood,
Blood to blood,
earth
to earth,
to earth,
wood to wood,
to wood,
birth to birth,
birth to birth.
blood to blood.
Behold, it is I, the magic cockerel. Wakot! What is this? Papa? Papa! Papa? You brought him here. You work it out. I've got better things to do with my time. Very well.